Welcome to Film Bluffs, a place for free-range, non-GMO, dog water opinions. So come on in, take a seat, and let's make fun of the kid with no internet.
And the music has faded in.
Bitches.
You can't say that.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
Welcome back to Bronocrods to
Welcome to another episode.
I know what you're thinking. Yes, two things that are new here. Hey, we're in a new setting. We got a new system going on that we're trying. And two, yes, Trace is a little sick today.
Womp womp.
I took some medicine and I had some soup.
Big news. We are trying something new, see if we can get some better sound quality. Comment below if it's better, or comment below if it's the same, or comment below if it's worse. But hey,
or comment
just
below
comment
and tell us how
below.
your day was.
And I will...
Unless it's like kind of depressing, I don't want to hear about it. But here we are. We just watched a movie. We watched A Real Pain. This was a Jobe pick. And personally, I watched it. There were some moments for me for this movie where I'm like sitting there giggling. I'm having a good time. And then the movie ends and I'm just like, that was it? It just kind of ends. I feel like the characters they were building up to like a, important story moment, or they were about to go through some big emotional thing, but then nothing changes. They're just in the same spot that they were at the beginning of this movie. Thoughts?
I don't want to discuss the ending too much since we're at the beginning, but
Okay.
The ending is the beginning.
My first impression then, without discussing the ending, was it was good.
The ending.
If we don't talk about the ending,
I mean, you don't like the ending. I don't see how it can affect your opinion of the movie as a whole that much.
I don't know. Some people judge movies about little things. Who knows? Camera angles.
Godzilla
Do you have an
vs.
example?
Kong, the new Empire horror movie.
Listen, I'm just saying
werewolves.
that this movie, it started out good, but the way I don't know how I can say it the way it ended without saying the ending, because the ending just
ends how.
Yeah, but I want my people to go, my intrepid cast of heroes to go through a journey.
What's that thing PewDiePie used to do?
Brofist. But they start the movie and end the movie the same, so everything in the middle doesn't matter. Why am I watching this then?
We can talk about the ending because it's the beginning. He's in an airport.
I just wanted to say, I said
Kevin McAllister,
earlier,
get it?
but I just I did that to test and see how well we're editing those out. So I didn't.
I don't know.
Actually, Jesse Eisenberg doesn't look like that.
If
Culkin
the movie
doesn't look like that.
If the movie instead of Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran McCulkin had Trace and Brownie, would it be better or worse?
Depends on who's who. I'm probably Jesse.
No.
I'm not that out. I would not be that.
But you're more outgoing than Brownie, I would say.
It depends on the setting Brownie's in. Sometimes Brownie is just very, hey, how you doing?
Especially if he has.
I just need to hear from the two of you what
if
your
you're
opinions are.
A family member of Brownie and you don't know that he does that, though, he doesn't.
Enough of this. What were y'all's two opinions on the movie? Because, Joe, this was your pick, so you're obviously biased, as you usually are. So how was this movie when you were watching it?
Yeah, it's not every day a movie gives me the horn for an hour and a half, but I'm kidding.
What? Did we watch the same movie?
What? No, okay. It's okay. What part in particular?
This movie does not give me the horn. I don't see a concentration camp and go.
Oh.
But anyway, shall I give a quick synopsis?
Well, let Trace give his quick thoughts before you give the synopsis, because we've been talking over him the whole time, and it's really probably a mean to Trace to just keep talking over him.
So my quick thoughts would be...
That's what my thoughts are on that.
How do people
Yeah, no, we get the bit, Marshall.
dried oranges
But
because
you see,
to
you
me,
did it.
oranges are better when juicy and like.
Yeah, but
if you
I'm
just
trying
take all
to
the
defend
hydration out of
him.
it.
I do
It's
it.
kind of like, what's the point of eating the orange?
See, I don't feel
Not
bad
that
because he's
part
just
of
talking about fucking oranges right now.
He's not
Those are-
fucking the oranges.
I'm not saying he is.
I
I'm just saying
thought
he's
the
talking
movie
about.
was fine. It wasn't awful. I didn't hate it. It was just kind of like, I was like, oh, okay. Ooh. Oh, that's a good point, Mr. Culcan. Ooh. And then that's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, Joe, go on. Tell us about this movie. Explain it so that we can all go, oh, you're right. No, that's.
But I guess it's probably the
I
same as
get
like a
it.
dried grape. Like that is
You mean
all
a
juice
raisin?
as well. Oh fuck, that's such a good point.
I can't wait for the summary to last 2 minutes because nothing happens
But,
that's
like-
actually consequential.
Apples are juicy, but they also got like meat to them.
I think my summary probably won't take that long, but I think that's because I trim the fat for my summaries. I just give you like the broad.
I bet you
I
do.
don't-
Not like
I don't go into
trays.
detail like some.
Are you calling me
people
fat?
Yeah.
do. No.
I'll get
Largy.
naked right now.
You do it. You won't. Actually, didn't we agree that we were gonna have 1 minute with our?
Dude.
Damn it, Joe.
I'm not allowed to say no.
No.
To be
you've
never
never been allowed.
To be fair, the agreement was that Job doesn't say her.
Yeah. This is.
I'm blurred.
Just give us
I've
a
been
summary,
blurred for my
Joe.
transgressions.
All right. Do you
I
want me to like
apologize.
look this way so it looks like I'm talking to you guys?
You're not.
But
You're
you
looking
need
the other way.
this- the other way,
You
other
need
way.
the other way.
Yeah. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to be eating some soup.
I'm gonna move on my screen real quick.
It's a fucky bowl.
It's a Halloween bowl.
Perfect for February, the Halloween month.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, yeah, Valentine's
So-
Day is a nightmare.
This movie is a real pain. No, not that it actually hurt me. That's just what it's called. This movie, yes, Trace.
Did you plan that?
No, I thought of that in that moment. It's the truth. I'm just that funny. Anyway, cousins David and Benjamin, played by Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran McCulkey.
Kieran Culkin.
Kieran.
You're thinking of
My
his
dad-
brother.
My dad said
Culkin.
No, my dad said Kieran McCulkin earlier, and it's
Oh.
been fucking with me.
Interesting.
And then he's gonna hear this episode and be like, call me up and be like, "I didn't fucking say that, you fucking moron."
And
Anyway,
then he's
You
gonna
just
beat
blame
you
your
to
dad for you not knowing people's names.
death.
Anyway, the two cousins, David and Benjamin, they fly to Poland to do a bit of a pilgrimage to honor their recently
Dad.
passed grandmother who escaped the Holocaust because she was Jewish and they wanted to kill her. And now she's dead, and they're like, well, let's go back to her home country. In fact, let's do a quick tour of the Holocaust, and then let's also visit her house and just like pay a little homage. And over the course of their journey, they basically just hash it out a bit like bros. There's a lot of discovery about themselves and each other, a lot of really touching moments. And then at the end of the movie, they fly back to America, and some things change, but some things stay the same.
Okay, now hold on a sec. When you say they discover things about themselves, what are you saying here?
Well, I feel like it's more Jesse Eisenberg than it's more David than Benji. But I feel like David, over the course of their journey, he does start to come to realize he's like, I'm a bit of a pragmatist, or like, I stick up my ass.
I wish I was.
And maybe that should change. Or
I'm gonna argue. I don't think either of them change. I think they're just still the same people as they, when they got there, then they left.
That's fair. I hear you.
well,
Valid.
Because I know that they talked about their issues, and the gay kid from Scott Pilgrim versus the World tells Social Network boy, "Hey, you weren't there for me. You fucking
Marshall's
dipped
never seen
out."
a
But,
gay
like,
TV.
Jesse Eisenberg tries his little best, like, "Hey, you want me to drive you?" No, and they just go separate ways, and they just continue to do what they were doing before the trip.
Fair point.
yeah,
Marshall.
I mean,
Oh,
that's...
one sec. Go
Hey, Trace.
ahead. Let's go.
Pretty good, pretty good.
But then the other thing is, right? Like the whole time,
Wait, Marshall,
What?
1 second.
Wait.
the whole time,
Can we do a Brady Bunch thing?
Kieran McCulkin is like being a piece of shit this whole time, but also like he has a valid point, but like no one, I feel like. I'm just trying to give
So that's the energy we're gonna bring to the episode
a
today.
good criticism. Is that too much for me to give just a decent criticism?
Before we started.
Oh, good. So he's drunk and belligerent.
Because like I'm
My
serious.
favorite
Like,
Job.
some of the lines, some of the script, it's like funny, and there's some parts where Kieran McCulkin's like really endearing, and the stuff that he does is like there's kind of cringy parts and how he comes across, but he's being sincere about it. But at the same time, he's kind of being a dick about everything.
Yes.
You know, like there's ways to handle situations. The one that comes to mind is that they're at a grave of the first Polish person, I believe is what it was. And he kind of starts
Oldest grave in Poland.
He was born and came out with hello.
and he,
I see Waluigi.
That's just what I went with.
The second poll came out was like, wow. Well, anyways, the tour guide's doing this whole thing, and Kieran McCulkin's like, he comes up to the tour guide and he's like, hey man, you know, this is kind of being, you know, we're doing all these touristy things on this Holocaust tour. We're not really like engaging with the Holocaust and meeting it's on its level. But the way he says it is very aggressive and a lot of curse words and kind of lashing out versus pulling the tour guide aside and saying, these are my critiques, this is my criticism.
See, I do agree with like his sentiment, because like if he wants to like if he wants to actually feel something on this rather than be like, looky, a dead guy, then like I understand where he's at. But I agree. I don't think he should be going about it going, hey guys, gather around. Hey James, you're fucking this up because you hate us people.
And another thing, he's talking about like he wants to engage, you know, understand the plight. But like the previous day, he was at like a memorial and making it seem like they were throwing bombs and stuff. Even though this is supposed to be kind of like, I mean, an intense kind of thing, not like super intense like going to a concentration camp, but he didn't really show any reverence to the thing, you know, the statue in the museum. So it's like he says one thing, but he's also doing another. But also I don't get this fucking cat. Yeah, Trace?
I would argue that may be his mental instability and illness that he has, because one of the sad parts of the movie is we find out his character tried to overdose on some sleeping pills. So maybe he's not all there, and maybe he's just, you know, his brain is working this way one minute, and he's like, ha, see, this is a fun tourist thing to do, even though this is a very serious statue. And then the next, he's seeing, like, the actual grave of where some of these people were buried and kind of going, this is so disrespectful that we're not doing this thing. So he might just be incredibly unstable, which I think he is.
Yes, Joe.
I just wanted to say that was a very cognizant point, Trace. Good job.
I don't always have them, but they live in my brain.
Well, I think it's, you know, I agree he's probably not all mentally there, but the way the movie portrays him at some points is that he's like, you know, social, and he's, you know, talking to people, he's understanding them, he's dealing with everybody's issues and trying to, you know, meet people on a deeper level, while Jesse Eisenberg's kind of more of the realist and lives in a society, to say. But then you see Jesse Eisenberg and him just like smoking some weed, and then they have a really quick discussion on their thoughts and feelings on each other and have a quick bro moment, and then they never bring it up again. Common for guys to do, I feel like, in situations.
I feel like they try to, but it gets cut off pretty short.
Because neither of them grew. They're still the same person.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think that they're listening. No one's listening to me.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I don't think that their characters, like, they don't have an arc in this. They do just go back to their lives as if the trip never really happened.
Yeah, right. Job's not agreeing with me.
And Job, so you got Trace on your side. Isn't that enough?
That's 2 for 3. That's 66%. That's failing.
No, I think that's technically a D. D is it?
Depending on.
It depends on your scale, yeah.
Say that again.
Oh.
I needed this, guys.
But Joe, go ahead and say how they had an arc, and then make one up.
You're so full of shit. Fuck off.
Well, okay, fine. Benji tried to fuck Marsha.
You didn't try to fuck her, dude.
Yeah, but
He
it kinda
saw the
seemed it.
deep sadness.
But
Like,
he could have. He could have.
there's-
She's like, oh, he's so charming.
There's
I love
funny
it.
bits in this, right? Where like one of the first ones was like Benji was sitting there and they're like, "Hey, I got weed for us, right? Whatever." And he's like, "What the fuck?" And then Jesse Eisenberg's like freaking out in the whole plane. And then they get to the hotel and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I just mailed it to myself." They're like, "Oh, "Okay." And then
Bring
like
that shit on the plane.
it's like,
That shit's illegal.
And then the next one for me, I remember, was he was like talking to like Marsha. And he's like, "Yeah, and she has some deep sadness behind her eyes." Jesse Eisenberg's like, "What? No, I didn't get that." He's like, "No, you didn't see the deep sadness?" And I'm like, "Come on, bro, you didn't see the deep sadness behind her eyes after she was talking about her divorce and how her life's kind of a mess." I didn't even see that, but like I could get it from her fucking tone of voice. You know what I'm saying? But back to Joe. Give us how they have a character arc. Go on, come on, boy.
Go on, then. Show us your character arc.
So
Show us.
Show us your minge.
I have 2 points. My first point is I think that the main goal I think of the movie is this honesty and this authenticity. So I think it takes strides to not present it.
Go on.
It wants to try to portray these characters as realistically as possible. And I think there is a little bit of that in them. So like they wanted to go on this journey. They wanted it to be this kind of life-changing thing for them. But in many ways it wasn't. They fly back home. They go back to work. Benji's going to help his buddy Tim re-roof his house. But largely their lives aren't changed. And so largely neither are they.
I will say I had quite a few friends who did go to Germany and did tour a lot of the concentration camps, and they did come back largely unchanged.
Oh, this was Poland, though. Completely different.
Well, yeah, but still.
No, I mean, I agree with what you're saying, that, like, realistically, people, when it was like 3 or 4 days, aren't going to have this world-changing moment in their lives and come back a different person. But you understand how deeply unsatisfying that is to watch,
Fair.
Like, I understand that's how people are going to act, but I don't watch a movie and be like, wow, they portrayed being an average Joe fantastically. And the rest of the movie were them just waking up, going to their 9 to 5, coming back home, repeat on the weekend, maybe do something fun. It's just not satisfying to watch.
So, my second point is, though, they did change, just not in huge life-altering ways, but like the sense I got was by the end of the movie, Jesse, or I keep flip-flopping between the character names and the actor names. David, who was played by Jesse Eisenberg, comes back, and I think he's ready to be more open with his cousin. And, he does invite Benji over for dinner, and that's part of his growth. He's ready to bring him back into his life a little bit more.
Is that part of his growth, or does he just feel bad that his fucking cousin called him out the day before for not hanging out?
That's still growth.
I don't think that's growth. That's just guilt.
If he's doing it because of guilt, why is his guilt now and not 6 months ago when the dude tried to kill himself? It's because of this journey that they went on and the growth that they had.
Yeah, but okay, so let's say 6 months before, he said he was angry that his bro or his cousin, he heard about this, whatever, right? Yeah. He didn't have any guilt because he was so far of a distance, and then just then, Kieran McCulkin's like, "Hey, by the way, I'm annoyed at you because you never visit, you never hang out." And then he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Wait, I should hang out." And then I guarantee he's not gonna pick up the phone. I was gonna hang out. They're just gonna live their completely same lives. Maybe
you guarantee that.
I guarantee. Put a fucking pin in that. When's Real Pain 2 were the same
Jesse
person?
Eisenberg makes a Real Pain 2. We'll see.
I will hate watch it. Also, Joe, if there's a debate person in me, a little small one. He's about 2'5".
He probably went to college with my dad.
Yeah, he went to college. Trace's dad. They were bros in the frat house.
Steven.
But your first point was saying how they didn't have character
Actually, his
growth,
name's
and then
Noel.
your
He's
second
a
point
huge
was saying that they
alcoholic.
had character growth. So there's a debate
If you
person
ever
to me
see this,
saying
I'm
your
really glad
first
that
and
you're
second
so
points
frail.
cancel.
I will argue that they don't contradict
videos
each
were
other
pretty
because
funny,
my
though.
first point wasn't that they didn't have growth. It was that they didn't have life-altering or very large growth, but growth still happened all the same.
And I'm saying there's no growth. It's just guilt, and that guilt is not growth.
Okay, but
That's
you
not character
understand
growth.
how that's a different point than what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand, but your point is that there is growth, and I'm saying that there isn't.
You could dehydrate a watermelon.
Yeah.
Okay, so I win. Victory for me. Trace, back
Let's
me up
leave
on
it
this.
to yeah, Trace.
I agree.
Perfect.
Sorry, I was looking up something that probably put me on a list for my history, but
And Benji,
incredibly
now
insensitive.
here's the
No.
little
I want to
thing.
hear something from Trace because Jobe's pissing me off.
All right, well, my question would be,
No, not question. Just speak your thoughts.
okay, so my thought is,
There we go.
how
What-
long would you have to stay at a camp like this, an internment camp, to like feel something? Because
Like,
I'm gonna go ahead and
stay.
get ahead of this and say it's probably in poor taste to like stay at one, but like if you do it as a tour, how many times do you have to go through the tour to like feel like you've changed? I feel like it does depend on the person, but at the same time, like if you're just kind of going through going, all right, go ahead and look at this and let's stay quiet for 5 to 10 minutes while you stare at this thing,
Well-
and then you keep going. I feel like it depends on the person, but I feel like you're not really absorbing a lot.
I think you're not supposed to have this huge character growth when you go to these kind of
No,
things.
I get that.
And you know, like going to something like this, like, you know,
Marshall
Holocaust
becoming
Museum,
a new person every time he gets on an airplane.
going to the 9/11 memorial. These aren't like huge character growths, but it's just expanding your worldview and actually seeing the places that it happened. Because like you can read about shit in textbooks, you know. And I think that was part of Benji's point. It's like you can like read about it, but when you're there, you have to be kind of like present and see the real what happened, you know. Like, yeah, you heard about the Holocaust, you heard about the shit that's happened, but being there is gonna have a different change, not as your whole person. It's just how you see parts of history or the world, specifically for the Holocaust.
I just feel like we're at this point in time incredibly desensitized and detached, that's probably a big portion as to why we don't really feel things like that in those places anymore. Like if I get there, I would probably assume, given my own life experiences, I would see this big case full of old shoes that belonged to the Jewish people during that, and I'd kind of just go, it's a lot of shoes. I don't love that, but I feel like we've you know, all the shit that goes on, we've been super desensitized.
Trace was watching those pain Olympics back in fucking middle school. People were cutting their own nuts off and shit.
Okay, but did you see the basketball game where the guy's like bone like ripped out of his leg?
Oh yeah.
That was
like
fucked.
I remember that,
and I went, ooh.
I remember where I was. There it was.
And Joe probably
in the
threw up.
7th grade in before school.
I don't think you're in 7th grade.
I was, because
You're
you were older
older.
than me.
Yeah,
No,
but
it
not
was
that much
7th or 8th grade. I remember
So-
exactly.
I'm
Joe,
lost.
go on. Say some other bullshit about this.
You've really
We should
upset
talk-
him, Job. I think you should.
No, you know what? Hold on. I've been a little too critical,
Here.
and I'm sorry.
Nope.
I'm
Here's
sorry.
the bridge.
No,
You guys mend it.
I'm
Every
sorry.
time one of you says a nice thing about the other, I'll do.
For me, the
Okay,
movie was good when I thought that there was going to be some sort of climactic moment besides them just yelling at each other. But the character writing and like their actual dialogue I thought was fun. Benji was a really fun character to see it in the world with how he just interacted. It's almost like it's one of those people that has no sense of like social anxiety whatsoever. And
I don't
it's
trust
just kind
those people.
like like he has some issues, but him just being able to say whatever he wants to say and not really like be concerned about it was interesting to watch.
I'm
And
gonna
there
have to
was
start saying nicer things because my arms are getting tired.
I'm saying a bunch of nice things.
All right, I'll give it one.
So like I say, the beginning is really nice. It's just the way it ends and it just kind of go for me personally. Go on, Joe. Compliment my fucking eyebrow mole.
Marshall, that eyebrow mole is how I know you're not an imposter.
You know, my
Bridge
wife picks,
vented!
my wife picks up the dry skin around it.
Oh. God.
My dog is making a tauntaun noise.
Come on, Joe. Say something bad about the movie.
Okay, if I had to say something bad,
The whole movie.
I think my biggest fear while watching it was that Benji was going to become this Gary Stu type character who just improves the lives of everybody he talks to.
Gary Stu?
That would be awful.
It's the male version of a Mary Sue.
I feel like you can just use Mary Sue because it's like a literary device, you know? It's not really have a gender. Is that a
Yeah,
thing?
you know what else is a literary device?
Your mom.
Yeah, that's about it. For those just listening, we flipped each other off. We need that break back up.
Just like that was just like the cool freight boat that destroyed that bridge on the East Coast.
Cool.
I would have just went for
You
like,
know
the
what I'm
London
talking
Bridge
about.
fires.
Now, I don't think the
that's
movie
too
went
recent.
full tilt on Benji, like, making everybody better. Like,
Nah.
the one old guy, like, I think by the end, he was still just like, that kid's annoying, and I don't like him.
No one but James grew. He'll be a better tour guide because of this man. But that's
But that,
it.
I feel like,
Marsha's gonna go fuck the guy that is a douche.
like,
And that's
yeah, he like talked to all these people, and they were kind of leaning into like he's gonna try to help them, but like he just talked to them, and he didn't really change their lives or anything. The only person that like Trace was saying he somewhat changed was James, and that was, hey James, could you just like try to be more sensitive and not like super touristy going on a Holocaust tour? And James
Also,
was like,
here's a
well,
giant peach.
James was like, hey, you signed up for the fucking tour, so you know what you're getting into, you know? Like, sorry, dog.
And he's all like, no, actually, David signed us up. I didn't even want to fucking be here.
But, like, I feel like there could have been more expanding on that. Like, he said it's such a bad thing. Like, oh, David signed me up, blah, blah, blah. But it was kind of like a, okay. And everyone was like, okay.
David signed me up. I fucking hate you guys. And then like 20 minutes later, I was like, you guys are great people. I love hanging out with you.
He didn't say he hated them.
You gotta see, your problem, Job, is you gotta read between the lines, man.
Joe, if you're not meeting the movie on its level.
You're meeting the movie on its level. You're not meeting Benji Kaplan on his level.
Your problem is you need to stop being such a...
You can't say the word.
Yeah,
No,
Marshall's
unless you're serving it.
I love it when we're doing our own podcast and we just steal bits from other things that we've seen in our lives.
You know what, Marshall?
And
If you
just-
got a fucking
Things in our
thought,
lives. I
maybe
love that show.
Maybe you should have a fucking Colin Daniel quarterly.
I'm not calling annual quarterly. I fucking hate annual quarterlies. Now, back to the
Job
movie.
or Marshall calling
Back
us
to the
out for
movie.
taking things from other shows is also
I
probably
am-
taking it from something else.
Back
So-
to the movie.
In love with this movie.
I'm
You're
not.
kidding, right? I'm
It's
about
not
to
like
say-
it's not awful. I'm not in love with it.
I don't know. For me, I think
I've
it's
sworn off love.
there's I could try to make it sound objective, but I'm gonna be honest. I understand it's totally subjective that I really dig this shit. So I'm just gonna be a
Why don't you go get a
shovel,
shovel, then?
Now, that being said, I am going to have to try to defend my opinion like it is objective because that's
Wait,
the
so-
show.
What do you like about this? Because I've already said like the character writing's really good, but to
Yeah.
you, Joe, what do
I
you like?
don't like what happened in World War II.
Not
Besides-
Just want to get ahead of that
Besides-
before a bit starts.
Anything else? Let's just get it covered. We do not condone anything that happened in World War II. Moving on.
we condone ICE.
I condone them
the
stopping it.
Allies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bad things,
All the
which is objective. Anywho, Joe, what did you
What?
like about this movie?
God, you're constantly bothering me about this.
Because you haven't said anything
One
besides the characters that haven't grown grew. Like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean, dog?
Again, you keep saying that what I said was that they don't grow at all. What I said was they grew, just not in a way so you're like, oh, look at them, they're completely new people.
He's got
But they
a point.
did it. He's just guilty. He's guilty, I tell you, guilty. I took that for credibles.
My favorite thing about doing our own podcast is just taking bits from other movies
So he did get your ass there is what happened. That's
No, but it's The Incredibles.
I do love it.
Did you know that Job can quote the entire script of The Incredibles?
No, everyone shut up. I want to hear Joe talk about what he likes, because I've got nothing so far from him, besides points that I have crushed him over.
Hello and welcome to Jobe's Corner. Today I'm going to tell you why I like
Shut-
A Real Pain.
I knew it.
Am I not allowed to say now either?
No!
Not in that
Not-
context.
No, it's a corner and like over here to my corner.
Oh, that's fine.
Alright,
So
hurry up.
Whose walls coming
why?
over here?
Why?
dungeoning?
What fucking time?
Because you're stalling.
How-
You're just fucking vamping, trying to stall
I'm
to
stalling.
think of
I'm
a point. Can you,
That is
like,
from the SpongeBob movie.
see, Joe's gonna fucking stall, and we're gonna go to a fucking break, and then he's not gonna say anything what he likes about this movie. He's gonna
I
give
don't
like an
actually know.
8.5. Except
the
that, like,
problem
he
using
said
this, I
0
don't know.
I
points.
feel
that he
like
liked
here's
about
the
this
thing. Maybe I'm not
I wanna talk at the
excited
same time,
to
too.
say anything. Trace, and I feel like you haven't spoken a whole lot. Will you tell
No,
me?
no, Joe, tell me what you
So
like about
what
this.
Job
fucking-
likes about the movies. He can relate
I
to
like-
the cynicism and the depression because he's had that before. And he kind of understands how like that can kind of come out in a weird way to some people.
But you don't have to be a dick about it.
But he has it from both sides because we have, David's obviously depressed in his own way. He just doesn't know how to speak it. He can't verbalize it. That's where he is like, I really wish I was Benji, because Benji just knows how to just get these feelings out, whether that's trying to OD on these sleeping pills or tell this very nice British man to go fuck himself because he doesn't know about the Jewish people. And then by the end of it, he doesn't turn into Benji, so it's just kind of a moot point.
But we still haven't gotten to what I want, is what does Joe like about this fucking movie?
So he likes that Benji really wants to spend more time with David, and David goes, "Hey, we should spend time together." And Benji goes, "Nah, I don't want that, but I do miss you," because he can relate to that from his absence.
What?
Job's father left him at the age of 6.
I know. Can't forget that minor detail. So
I'm just
yeah,
waiting.
I
what?
got 2 points first. Trace, good job. Another cognizant point.
When we have a serious movie, I will give actual genuine thought, but I will mask it with humor because I don't want to talk about it.
Aw. All right. So my next thing is
So
the character
depressed.
writing for one is really good. Performances are also fantastic. Like I love how
I was
a
not
lot
crying,
of
it's
this
my
movie
sinuses.
is David and Benji beats to each other or arguing, but like there's never a moment where I also don't feel that like bond and that like familial love that they have for each other, which I think is just fantastic. The movie is shot so well. Like there's so many great shots. It's all lit so nice. Like admittedly, this movie probably got made to be a little like tourist package for Poland and Warsaw, but it does a good job. Like Warsaw looks fucking beautiful in this movie. Yes, Trace.
Can I explain another reason why Job likes this movie?
Why is that?
It's just fun. Like
No,
watching
this one's
it,
not. This
you're
one's
having a
not.
good-
Listen,
I don't know if I
okay.
use the word fun, but it
it's
is kind of a
enjoyable.
vibe.
You know, yeah, sure. Maybe I would have loved this movie if I've never seen a picture of a fucking historical building or a slightly lit historical building or
Marshall
a
went to
fucking
the
arch
Alamo.
with shadows or some fucking, I don't know, hanging out with my brother or sister that I have. I don't know.
You don't have a
But,
brother.
like, I don't know, man. It's just, maybe it wasn't for me.
We're
You know,
your brother.
I
We're
don't
your
like to watch my movies and have no character growth that is easily discernible or actually makes a fucking difference and not just a one-off to say, look, they had a little bit of growth because there's guilt. And the other half of the movie, just music with fucking pictures of Poland in the background for no fucking reason. I don't know. One of you go.
You go
Yeah,
because
I got-
okay. Well, yeah, mine's quick. They have character growth because he slaps him at the end, like his grandmother, like the grandmother.
But that doesn't do anything.
It brings them closer together.
It
No, it doesn't.
does. It fucking does.
They laughed and they cried together at the end, and then he went, "Do I get to slap you now?" And he's like, "Ha, nope." You're welcome.
So my first point is this is entirely me being a condescending asshole as part of a
Let's
bit.
go.
But Marshall, maybe this movie's just a bit too challenging. If you'd like, my next pick can be, I don't know, fucking Rescue
Wonder
Heroes.
Pets.
My
Rescue
second
Heroes,
point-
the characters grow over the course of the movie.
Do they?
Rocky
What
Canyon,
does Billy Blaze fucking do?
Do you guys want to?
Well,
do you guys
he
want a
doesn't
movie
die.
where the characters grow?
Rocky Canyon
Honey,
at the
I
beginning of
Blew
the
Up the
movie
Kids.
thinks he has to do everything, but at the end of the movie, Rocky Canyon says, "No, I gotta let the right person on my team do the right action." Here, we just have some guy getting guilt tripped into asking his cousin to come visit him, and they don't. And that happens because they had a fucking quick smoke sesh,
I
and
was lost in
they
thought.
yelled at each other really quick.
I was lost in your eyes.
I have another point. Marshall, would you like this movie more? The camera was constantly fucking spinning.
Is that why you like this? Because the camera just didn't fucking move, and you were
What was
able
the
to
lens
Because the
flare?
camera made shots that looked fucking nice instead of being like, whoa!
Not
whoa!
enough lens flare.
Dude, I'm just saying, like, okay, they argue. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just Kieran McCulkin just kept don't do it.
What the fuck is that?
Maybe it was Kieran McCulkin just pissing me off half the time because he just
That's
seemed
true.
like the worst kind of person for me to be around, like as myself.
Marshall is like Power Rangers level upset, but in a completely different way.
But like, I understand there are some good looking shots, but at a certain point, like, the fuck are we doing here? We watching a movie? We're just looking at pictures, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
No, I don't.
Because it's like,
to quote an
I'm
earlier
saying-
movie, pictures and movies are just, movies are just a lot of pictures
okay,
going really,
sure,
really fast.
but like, there's a lot of shots of just like, hey, look, they're walking, and look at them, look, they're walking, but look, we have a nice building with some light, and we've tuned up the video. So
I'm
it
so
looks
confused though, because clearly you're not that big of a fan of story because your favorite fucking movie is Power Rangers.
pretty. I never said no. You're gonna look at me and tell me my favorite fucking movie is Power
What are you
Rangers?
talking about?
There's no way. You know what my favorite fucking movie is. That movie's got story.
That movie is. It's Spirit, by the way, guys.
The horse movie.
Counterpoint to Marshall's walking.
Sometimes they're standing.
In Star Trek, we did have a moment where Chekhov is running just very quickly, and that's really all that was happening. Other than him going, "I can do this, I can do this, I can do this."
Yeah, because it played part of the story. It was part of the story, right?
So
it's
just
Chekhov running
they're getting from point to A, point to point B.
No. This is
Also
Chekhov
fucking
telling you what he's
Dune.
doing.
Half of Dune is Timothy Chalamet looking sad on a desert planet.
And doing a
I'm
little-
being unnecessarily harsh, but like, my point stands. Movies are made up of images.
Sandwalker.
Do we need to bring up the fact that this is all fake? Like, this didn't happen. This is a movie.
The Holocaust for sure happened.
Yeah, Marshall. Fucking dork.
Don't call me
Really
a
trying to pull
dork.
up. This is all fake anyway. Poland isn't fucking real.
I've never seen Poland in my entire life, and I was in Europe.
Europe is Spain, as
So-
far as the eye can see.
Trace, are you on my side or Job's here? I want to know.
Middle of the
He's on
road.
the side of chaos.
Remember, the
100%.
last time Job referred to a Jesse Eisenberg movie was Vivarium. So
And I
think
am still
about it.
upset about that.
So bring that into your decision for this one. Pull it in the Vivarium favor.
Vivarium sucks. It's such a dog shit movie.
Here's the thing. Kieran
I will
McCulkin is
say,
no.
If Jesse Eisenberg ever sees
No.
this, I do hope that you go to fucking prison for making Vivarium. You
he
fucking
didn't
deserve
make
it.
Vivarium. He was just
He was in it. You're telling me he's gonna go, hey, I was in Now You See Me and also Vivarium, two very different movies, one good. And now he's in Now You See Me 3. And here's another thing. Why is the second one Now You Don't?
Now you don't.
Just call it Now You Don't. You don't need a third movie. They were perfect the way they were.
Listen,
Nah, the second
man,
one's kind of bad.
It was fine.
Kieran McCulkin just pissed me off half the time because he's just the worst kind of travel partner. And here's the other thing. Jesse Eisenberg is also just a worse travel partner because he's a dweeb. Like, he's just lame.
I will say Jesse does play just every character he's ever played in a movie in this. Like he
Like-
just kind of plays himself, it seems like.
Because it
He's
is
a lot
it's
like
Jesse
Ryan Reynolds in
Eisenberg,
that.
the dweeb. once again making his fucking return to the limelight. Except in
Like,
Vivarium, where he played not a dweeb
Jesse
and he sucked.
Eisenberg had
Like, we've
fucking
all seen the
packs in a
interview that
six-pack.
Jesse Eisenberg did for Now You See Me. I'm sorry to bring it up again, but he's an asshole. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Is
Yes,
he?
the interviewer was kind of being a bitch, but at the end of the day, he was kind of like, you're on my time. Fuck you. And then he just exudes that energy in every movie he does.
Not in this one. He's just a dweeb. Look at him. Like
No, but he
50
still exudes like he's an asshole though, because like,
well, he's pretentious, but he's a pretentious
right?
dweeb.
Because to an extent he cares about his cousin, but there is a level of him that gives off a, you tried to kill yourself, and I'm making that about me.
Yeah, but also he also says that he doesn't like his cousin because he's kind of an asshole sometimes.
He's like, I would love to kill him if he hadn't tried to do it himself, and everybody's like, what?
What do you mean by
I don't know
that?
what you're
And he's
doing.
like, oh, he tried to die.
Well, Marshall,
Also-
he could fucking kill himself.
Also, did I just not know he was in Rio?
Yeah, he's the
He's the
fucking
main
bird.
bird.
The dweeb
Is he
bird.
really?
He's a dweeb in that one too.
Now's probably a good time to let you guys know I've actually never seen Rio.
Why do they call it Rio 2 and not De Janeiro?
Perfect question that we'll never get an answer to because Jesse Eisenberg is a fucking asshole.
Hey.
More like the Heisenberg because his career's going down in flames. Let's go!
Now, on
No,
that
you're doing
note,
great.
I think
You're just
that's
kind of a
perfect
dick.
transition to go into our Capri Sun break.
And like I said, welcome back. We have taken some time to get to know each other and figure out, hey, we still love each other even though we get mad at each other. Jobe was the best man at my wedding.
And
Jobe was.
I feel like
Trace
we've
was one of my
grown as
groomsmen.
people.
Yeah, but you're a groomsman. You groom.
With how
me.
this episode's going, I'll be the best man at the next
Hey,
one.
Trace, right now, who's gonna be the best man at your wedding,
Whoa.
Jobe or me?
I haven't decided.
Oh, it's in the air, baby.
He just
It all,
doesn't, he just doesn't want to break
it all
your
depends
heart.
on how
He
you score
knows.
my next episode.
Here's the thing. He knows I won't ruin the podcast if he says up in the air you. You will fucking tank this if he says me.
I'm just saying, I've been putting in some work. We had a late start to the Trace
I don't know, because
introduction.
like
but
I did ask Job at one point who was going to be the best man at his wedding, and I kind of did one of those like, so who's going to be the best man at your wedding? And he was like, I don't know, probably Noah. And I was like, oh,
Noah.
That was years ago.
it's changed.
That
That
was
was
before I
before
see
Noah
you.
died.
Listen,
Anyway, can we talk about the
Yeah, what Noah
movie?
think?
Let me tell you something about the movie. It's gonna sound really
It
sad, but I
insists on
think
itself.
I won't deny that
There's
there's
no
a
denying
bit
that.
of a pretentiousness behind
say
it.
what?
I mean, you're wrong because
Glitches.
What'd you say?
I said the movie does have a bit of a pretentious side to
Yeah,
it.
Just like
It's not-
Vivarium.
and it's not like a
Just
good
like
thing.
Vivarium. I'm not saying it is. I'm trying to give
I
you a
almost
point
breathed in
here.
Capri Sun.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting there. They're like, "Oh, look, we're gonna be classy. We're gonna play music, classical music, and have shots of Poland." Okay, my thing with listening to classical music is that it's good. It's just boring to listen to, and then you're just gonna put random pictures of fucking Poland. Not helping, bro.
You just got. See, that's the thing is, you kids today, you don't have an attention.
I have
span
attention
for
span. I watched
shit.
an hour and a half of
Sometimes-
nothing right now.
I
So,
got attention span for fucking days.
I can span attention. Whoops, span attention.
Every time. See, just like that, you guys are friends again.
We never stopped
Yes, you
being
did.
friends,
I
fuckhead.
made it happen.
But like,
I'm the Lex Luthor.
but
I'm
like I
the Jesse
said,
Eisenberg.
you have to agree if there's no character growth.
No, another Jesse Eisenberg.
You have to agree if there's no growth or nothing happens, then what's the point? And if it was unsatisfying.
Marshall asks me. You gotta agree, though. Says the exact opposite point. I
Okay,
make
another
in the
thing.
whole
You guys
episode.
fucking trounced on Power Rangers for allegedly having no character growth, and there's less here. And Job's like, well, if you think about it, it's
What do
it's
you
intellectually
mean,
simulated.
you guys?
Well, I don't know. You were there.
I don't
it
think
was,
we
and I was
complained
100%
about the
on
You
character
did.
growth.
No,
We
you did.
complained about everything
You did.
else.
You complained about character growth.
What did I say? What did I
Trinity.
There was
fucking
no
say?
character growth.
Give
it
me a
was
direct
Trini.
Oh,
fucking
give
quote.
me a direct. Motherfucking. That's what you.
I think look.
Oh,
Okay,
God.
we've all had
Dude, I
some
don't
dog
wanna
shit
be here
movies. We've had
anymore.
Power Rangers. We've had Vivarium. I can't really think of any of mine because I kind of just liked all the movies that I picked. So
Hold on, let me find one for Trace. Timeline sucked.
I enjoyed it, but I'm a sucker for time
Timeline
travel.
Of course
It's
you
fun.
fucking
I
did.
thought it's just fun, you know.
I thought it was
I
sweet.
thought it was
whoa.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, half of Trace picks are actually Marshall picks. If we
That's not
fucking think
entirely
about it.
true.
I mean,
I've been
Transformers
watching
1.
Transformers before you were
Rampage.
alive.
Oh yeah, but how many times have you watched Transformers 1? I've watched it twice. You
One,
watched
it's
it
in the
once.
name. You only
But
watch it
let's-
once.
Enough of this bullshit. Let's get back to what's important here, and then this is this movie that nobody likes. Maybe Job.
I thought it was fun.
Not saying that you're nobody, but
The
like
Three
nobody as
Musketeers
in percentage of
was
people in the
so
world.
good.
And nobody likes a nobody. Listen, let me tell
Nobody
you
liked
something.
me when I was a nobody.
Tell
I
me
did.
something. Darn.
So
Good Will Smith movie, Shark
I think
Tale.
yes,
Now
if
in
you
theaters.
need every movie you watch to be balls to the walls.
Oh no! Don't even fucking insinuate that's what I said. I just want something to happen. I want our characters to be different places where they started from the beginning and the end. They're not. They started in the
Yeah, they
same.
were in
Damn it, I was
America.
gonna make the
Then
same
they go to
No,
Poland.
the very beginning, the very end of the movie, he's leaving his house. Benji's at the fucking airport. End of the movie, he's at his house. Benji's at the airport. They're the same spot, the same character mindset. You
But
can say that.
You
Let's
forget,
say what?
stupid. The Earth travels at 318,000
He does have a
miles
point.
I know.
That's why if you travel strictly in time, you will die because you will travel back 50 years and the Earth is not there yet or anymore.
See, I know I'm right, and Job is fucking floundering because he's not made a
Oh,
single
flounder? Like the Little
solid
Mermaid?
point besides saying,
Little Mermaid?
actually, the world moves. So you know that he's got nothing
I
to back
remember
up what
my
his
point.
emotions are.
Because your fucking point is that the movie is bad because Jesse Eisenberg went back home. Would the movie have been better if he got back home and they're like, by the way, your apartment got bombed?
I'm not saying his apartment. I just
He
want to
is in
see character
Boston.
grove.
I think.
Like, I watched. You're telling me I
what?
watched an hour.
They're in New York,
Yeah,
you
Boston,
fucking
New York.
idiot.
I watched an hour and a half of Jesse Eisenberg going, and at the end for Jesse Eisenberg to be still the same person. What's the point of the movie?
not
What's the
the
point? Why am I watching this, Joe?
The point of the movie is to tell you the theme is do not run. The theme is that you shouldn't run away from pain because pain
a real
helps
pain at that.
you grow. It helps define who you are. And part of Jesse Eisenberg's growth is he has been distancing himself from his cousin because to him right now his cousin just represents that painful image of him lying on the couch trying to kill himself. And now he's ready to grow from that pain. He's ready to have him back. I'm drinking vodka
It's
still,
not that.
okay?
It was
Yes,
just
Trace.
that my point's gonna be so much dumber while you're making a cognitive thought. So you have to admit, though, you have to agree, this movie would be kind of cool if they had a big fight scene by the statues or like on the train. And they're just like,
See, here's my thing. I feel like some movies do
Bullet
that.
Train.
Like,
They
no,
have
not
fight
Bullet
scenes.
Train. I was thinking more like Bridge to
Ooh.
Terabithia, where
Dude,
they try to suck
fucking
you in by
Bridge
being
to
like,
Terabithia is a shit movie. I have strong feelings on Bridge to Terabithia.
Marshall had
But
a
that's not the
childhood
movie we
friend who
watched.
cracked their head open in a river.
But here's the thing.
I can't tell if this is a banger episode. Or
I'm
if it's
having a
just
great
dog
time.
shit.
Here's the thing. I need to get this off my chest. I need to be a real person for a sec. This movie does the best.
I'm the friend who cracked his head into the
Okay.
river.
He disappears.
Side tangent. I did hit my head really hard as a kid, dropping from my friend's backyard zip line and like had to get like go to the hospital because I was like bleeding from my head. I didn't die.
For context, Marshall comes from wealth, and so his friends had
like when he says zip lines, it was like from house to house.
Okay, no. You guys were not there. There was like a fucking 2x4 going up to a tree.
The
and then,
saddest
like,
day of my life was when I bent our very private gate to our mansion home.
That was not the saddest day
It
of
had
my
a
life.
pool, and I had to clean it myself because the pool boy had that day off.
I had a shit childhood, obviously. But here's what I want to say, right? You watch this movie and you have such a great time with the characters interacting with each other, and they're kissing each other all the time because they're cousins. And it's so good on the interactions. And then it's like, hey, we're going to have just like a bunch of random shots of them not interacting. And it's going to establish the setting of Poland for like the 5th day.
Still the same stuff.
Season 3 of Invincible yet?
Did it come out?
What? It did? Good for him.
3 episodes.
But like, they interact. So usually movies that are heavy on character interaction, you want to see character growth. But again, nothing.
That's not necessarily true.
I want to see this thing.
There
and you
are
know what I saw?
where the point is to explore the characters and the relationship, not necessarily to push them
weird, right?
into bold new directions.
I mean, sure, we explore, but what do we get? We get Jesse Eisenberg's a dweeb, and the other guy's like ADHD and an asshole sometimes. That's it. Yeah, there's some other stuff that they don't really like subtly hit you with. They just kind of go, yeah, I'm annoyed at him because he killed himself. You know, another guy's like,
he didn't kill himself, and that just shows how shallow your understanding.
And the other guy goes, well, I'm annoyed at you because
I have my own little conversation.
Yeah, while all of this podcast is happening, Trace, start your solo podcast.
I really didn't expect it.
You know what? I take it back. There's no more confusion.
I really expected everyone to just keep talking over each other.
If you disagree, leave a 5-star review and tell us why.
See, like, but most of this movie was good.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Can we get Quinn in an episode?
I want to go home.
Probably. Tomorrow.
I want to go away from everything that's happening.
Marshall started this episode with, can we start this? I don't want to be here.
That set the tone.
Here's what's happening right now. Marshall's feeling a lot of stuff in this movie.
Okay, I think that's the problem there. Jobe, you don't feel anything
out.
anymore. You used to feel things.
That is so not
to feel things.
I am so much more of a binge watch this movie because I'm fucking. I was fucking crying.
Right, you know what? I think this movie fucking sucks. Like,
who? You're gonna tell me you're gonna be like, wow, look, Poland.
Who goes on a tour just to make fun of people who died? That's fucked up.
Yeah, Marshall, what the fuck?
Marshall, how was the Alamo?
Like, I understand you don't think, Marshall, I know you don't think Poland is real or that World War II happened, but if you put yourself in the mind of, that did happen, and you see these shots, and you're going through it with the characters, yeah, it affects you. You go, holy shit.
Marshall got to the Poland border, and like it's just white, like it's a sheet of just like non-existence. He's like,
it's that deal where like when you're walking like Minecraft and your chunks don't live, so it's just like void.
Just like, what are you guys?
I just had a perfectly Polish shaped void
because he's the guest on the server, and the admin walks through because the world's loaded to them.
We're going to go to Poland for a birthday.
Oh, I
trip
thought we were talking about how we were gonna recreate Poland in Minecraft so that Marshall can visit it.
Marshall refuses to go to Poland because he lives in a fantasy. It isn't real.
We should go to New Zealand.
Listen, I was trying to make a point earlier.
Oh yeah,
most of this movie was like fun, like the character interaction. I don't know if I've said it enough, but it's really well done. We've argued a lot about a lot of different things, but
I don't think we have. I think we've argued about one thing and very.
This is another thing that we're fucking arguing about. It's a number of things that we've argued about.
Yeah, but it's about the same thing.
But anyways, the characters between themselves talking is really good. Like, I want to say, if you are like a person who wants to like get into like, I don't know, script writing or some shit like that, and trying to figure out like how characters realistically sound to each other, but also in a movie setting. Because I feel like it's one of those things that like if you try to write how a person would actually interact with the world, it just doesn't translate to the movie. But how these two characters interact with each other is really genuine, and as Job said earlier, you definitely feel like they've known each other for a long time, and they're not like overly friendly, but it's that like, you know, years and years of knowing each other kind of bond, and it's really well done. Just the rest of the movie kind of
Well put, Marshall.
Okay.
no, I'm not called on Job. Trace.
Well put, Marshall. Job?
So I wanted to say that up until that very last bit, Marshall was making a cognizant point, and I just wanted to acknowledge that perhaps that is, like I said before, it's probably very subjective why I like this movie. But as someone who does wish he was a better writer, perhaps that's why the movie had such an appeal.
Dude,
And I think that's why Marshall doesn't like it so
and this
much.
fucking cognizant word. When are you gonna open up a thesaurus and pick a different fucking word, dude?
Coming from the guy who says every movie is fun.
So I just want the audience at home to understand that if you try to give Marshall his dues, he will fucking attack you.
Sorry, I just fucking edited this Tron episode where you lashed out at me and you kept bringing up this fucking hog.
Is that why you're
Gun to
mad
your
at
head.
me? It's because
No.
of Fence X?
No. I
Gun
was-
to your head, you can tell Marshall how cute he is, and he'll still blow your brains out.
Stop.
God.
Marshall's in a really tough place.
I'm talking with someone who doesn't understand like how to watch a movie. Apparently, like what's fun? It's just baffling. Someone can watch this and be entertained at the last 20 minutes,
Are you not entertained?
5 minutes.
Okay, so you're saying that like 95% of this movie is
No,
fun.
95 is pushing it. 95 is pushing it. The parts where they're interacting with each
90-minute
other,
movie, last
where they're
5 minutes.
smooching, is good. I'm saying the really
So
egregious part is the last
How does
5
he do
minutes. But in the hour and 30, minus the last
It's all
5 for
sleight of
bad,
hand.
of that hour
You really
25,
have to know how to do
that
your
whole
hands.
hour 25 is not them interacting. There's a lot of just
A
random
lot of
bullshit
it's
going
like
on.
One at a time.
So I'm going to give a fucking score, and I'm going to...
Is it score time?
Yeah.
already? Wait, Trace had one last point to make.
Trace, if this is not Marshall, you're so smart, we're going to have issues.
Well, I don't want you to shoot me. So I forgot the actual point I was going to make, so I'm going to default to the other one, which was, I feel like we've all done a really good job at raising our hands this time.
We have.
I have not.
I don't know
raised
why.
my hand 0
I don't know why that was
times.
a bit that was going on, but I feel like it really helped the flow, like from Progressive.
Yes, Job.
Sponsor us.
I feel like we've also talked over each
Probably
other
more than we
collecting
usually
this
do.
movie.
No, it's definitely worse because Job and I will get into an argument, and then Trace will just be like, "Can you dehydrate a watermelon in the background?" You know, and you're just like,
And
what
that
the
is
fuck,
why
Trace?
the people show up.
Trace is watching. Trace is giving just
Watching.
color commentary, but the color commentary does not actually like reflect what's going on in the setting.
I feel like I belong in a different kind of podcast.
Don't say a D&D podcast. You've tried
Yeah,
that,
people
like,
keep
5
fucking
times.
me over.
Sure.
It's alright.
Anyways,
Not you
Joe-
guys. Not you guys. Sorry.
Last point.
Okay, yeah, I know you want to get to scores, but I really just wanted to get this out there. I started saying this earlier, then I got off topic, but
Is it a big
in
part?
short, I do unfortunately relate in some ways to both Benji
Trish said
and
that earlier.
David.
I called
He
it.
did, but I did want to talk on that a little bit, which is also like that probably also is going to affect my score a lot, just because for me, yeah, you know, there is a little bird in my brain tweeting out that's like, we all have problems and you just gotta learn to fucking deal. And then there's also another bird in my brain that's like, hey, maybe you should stop and acknowledge how you feel. And it's like,
And then there's a third bird going.
and I go, that's a fucking peacock.
All right. This Job pitch. Marshall score time. This is whatever. You know what? I want to hear Trace give his
This is
score,
gonna be so
and then
skewed.
it'll be Jobe and Marshall, because I feel like that's the best way to do it.
For this episode in particular, yeah, but I do see that Marshall has already scored it. So,
Trace, what's your score?
So
I feel
scared.
like it's one of those. It's gonna fall into one of those categories that when I watched it, I didn't hate the movie. It's probably not one that I'm gonna need to watch again. Like if somebody mentions it, I'll kind of go, "Oh yeah, that's not," I'd say give it a watch. So I'm gonna put it up there with into a 6 because it's not bad. It's just a little bit more than average for me. Where I was kind of like, okay, all right, this isn't. I can see some. I'm gonna use a word that I probably will use incorrectly because I don't entirely remember the meaning, but it's nuanced.
6 is crazy.
Marshall, you're gonna hate me.
This is gonna be another vivarium.
It really is.
Fuck,
Like,
fuck, I made a mistake.
I'm trying to,
I made a mistake.
It's better than the
I
Beekeeper
paved the
for
road
sure.
for Jobe.
So I'm gonna give this a 3.3335. It's just
Now that went down because originally that was at
3 is-
3.5555.
yeah. The 3.33 is mainly for the character writing. It's just that the characters exist, and I feel like nothing happens
Joke
around
froze.
them. They just exist in the world, which is whatever. But like I said, if you really want to get into like
This is
character
currently
writing,
a
I feel like this is a
horrible
great way to
average.
do it. Joe,
Jobe's gonna have to score
Give
this
this-
a 10, or this might be the lowest average score.
I just
And keep in
just
mind,
want to say to the
Power
audience,
Rangers is still currently the lowest average scoring.
I just wanted to say to the
He's gonna need a
audience
10.
that
Jobe's going to need a 10 to make this right.
if he gives us a 10, he's fucking baiting.
I know some people on this podcast probably adjust their scores based on what other people
Yeah.
give it.
100%.
But me, I had this number in my heart from the word go. I think this movie's better than Vivarium.
I would
And if
100%
you recall-
agree because Vivarium's a fucking dog shit movie.
But if you recall, I gave Vivarium an 8,
That's
I
probably
believe.
not true, but it was probably a 10 for you because you're fucking scum. This does not reflect how I feel about you today.
I just-
Specifically
I don't know,
Vivarium.
I understand. But this movie just has so much passion behind it, and that sauce really carries me. Okay, fine. Just explain to me how this movie
Does
is
it
made
have-
cynically.
Panache.
Yeah.
What's your score?
Let me figure out
Joe?
what
Go ahead.
panache means.
If you say
Don't
the
fucking
number
do it.
I'm thinking of, you're going to be insane. But if you say the one below that,
It's French and it means flamboyant.
what's your number, Joe?
Confidence of style.
It's a
Okay,
9.
that's
Okay, he saved it.
Like, I would say, if I could just there
Power
are a
Rangers is
couple
still
of
the lowest
moments
score,
where the
but-
dialogue
no,
does get a little
timeline
funky,
is the lowest.
like
you
when
idiot.
Jesse
Timeline
Eisenberg.
kicked ass. Timeline
When
is a
David,
5.5 and Power Rangers is a
No,
4.5.
Beekeepers. Oh, timeline's a 4 point.
Yeah, because
Power
it
Rangers a
sucked.
4.5.
Guys, we're getting on.
Beekeepers are 4.9.
Let's close it out with a bang. I just wanted to say that
You got this, Job.
when
home.
David says accidentally reveals that Benji tried to kill himself, I thought that dialogue was a little
Yeah, I
forced.
think. I
Oh,
would
so
agree
it's a
with that.
9.
And I did feel like it was a little weird when David just
Well,
like
because
took
that's
him
the only
down.
flaw.
That's the
so
only
it looks
flaw.
like it's
David
just
took him
That's
down
the only
with
flaw in the
one stone,
entire
and that's gonna be
movie.
a big fucking.
The rest of
or he
this
hit him,
movie is
right in the
100%.
'Cause
Except
that's
for this
like
one little
sling
forced
shot. I mean,
bit.
I guess I've seen it where they're kind of like.
I can't tell if Marshall wants to bring me down or the movie
Both.
down. Probably
Okay,
both.
next week, Marshall
I like
pick. I've never
it
seen this
when-
movie.
I like
Watching
it
A
when
Man
they
from
fight,
Earth.
Because I
So
know that
I'm
the
not
friends
really
get
like
down here. We can
invested.
focus on-
Trace, shut the fuck up! I'm begging you.
We're watching A Man from Earth next week. I'm not invested
That's
in
all
this.
of
I've
us.
never seen it. Yes. Except for Job. He's on fucking Crazy Planet right now.
That's good. That's good. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
I'm in 2 down right now.
So catch us next week. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok,
Where?
YouTube, Spotify. We'll catch you later. Bye. We're done.